Oh, well, the StopTrik workshop here in Malibu is Malibu. Malibu.
Still great.
We're behind schedule. We're really behind schedule because the students here have got some brilliant ideas and they want to kind of explore them by experimenting with different techniques, mostly in pixelation. And the pixelation they want to be working inside spaces and outside on Malibu Street. So on the streets of Malibu. Maribor. Yes, Maribor. So we're really behind schedule, but they've got some great ideas, and
that's what I wanted to ask. Like, can we know what are they working on right now? Like, what are the stories and what are the ideas?
Yeah, they're very playful. So the idea is about we're trying to really harness the power of imagination. So we've used 3 different disparate images that are seen in postcards, and we've divided them up into character, situation, and environment. And the students turn them upside down, and they blindly pick these postcards and they turn them over, and they have no association with each other whatsoever, but they have to fabricate a story. From this story, they have to make it work within around 1 minute, and then they have to use pixelation techniques, some stop motion techniques to communicate this story. From that, they're creating their own characters, and they've created their own story, which they are filming on Malibu.
Well, childishness, pixelation and everything. I'm just interested, like, what is your story about what is the earliest story you can remember about films and cinema, and how did you get into it?
Yeah, I think that's a really good question. I think for me it was always being scared. I'd be watching horror films. So I was very young, and I would watch Hammer House of Horror films in England, and being terrified. And also Nosferatu was another one. So really early German cinema, specifically Nosferatu, would scare me. The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, I saw it very young, and I believed it was a real vampire, and I believed the past was black and white. The past didn't have colour, and these were my first impressions of cinema. And then as I got older, I was transformed with the work of Ray Harryhausen, this mixture between live action and these animated fantastical characters, and not really monsters, he calls them creatures that would come to life and interact. And so this really sucked me into the world. And then as I got older, I started to look at George Méliès, The Godfather, and then I would be transformed by fantasy cinema. And this was very closely related to the cinema of the psychology and emotional cinema that would get the audience really into these worlds, and how do you reflect stories and how we feel through animation, which possibly isn't so easy or achievable in live action. So that was my early feeling of cinema and how it evolved over time into what we're doing here.
Yeah, it sounds great. Thanks a lot.